right, guys. All right, folks. Let's get started, man. Before we get going, let me just stop and just put my face up on the mic right here. Just me. My name is Karl from AceTradingClub. I operate a Discord service where we give out our day trades, swing trades, and investment trade ideas. Link is in the description. Come check us out. Free to join. We operate a paid service, but I just want to show you some of the stuff that's been going on in Discord because it has been going on. Let's be clear. Most traders have been losing money this year alone. However, here at Ace Trading Club, we have our methods, we have our madness, we know what we're doing, and we have been making winner after winner after winner after winner after winner every single day in this market. So let me just show you the Discord. Let me just show you some of the stuff that actual members are writing. But let me just show you this little trade right here. So when I'm not live on the mic doing the video, sharing my screens, I have a room right here for paid members where they actually get my signal. I'm long Tesla pre-market at 259, a small position to have max flexibility. The target was 266 to 268. And then as it started to get there just a few minutes ago, okay, heads up on Tesla, hit 266. I'm out Tesla, boom, easy pre-market trade. But what's more impressive to me is what members are actually saying, okay? When I come in here to what I call the free game, this is where everybody gets to have a look. It's just like what members are writing. This is actually that came in today. What a week so far. This is my first week in the chat, and every trade has been profitable. Every trade this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, is smashing it. Thank you. I've traded in a couple other places, but the energy and the precision in this chart, and the charting is amazing. Mogul, which is me, your levels are point, was literally saying out loud on the Tesla run up from 220 to 220 that I was out of my mind to say it was going to touch 270, 272. But sure enough, that's exactly where it went. And the fact that you keep us all on track, under pressure, when the market is under pressure and all the volatility, it's impressive. You got to realize I have to manage not only my own stress that might come or might not be there, but I'm responsible in a general sense with everybody that's in here. So I have to make sure that, hey, with a small account or a big account, that I'm giving people the best levels they can. But hey, what are other members saying? What are other members saying? You know, if we shout out our winning trades, we have another member. They posted the same one twice here, but here's another member, been trading here since January. And this week has been the most profitable yet, even with the volatility, keeps it going with the knowledge and the levels to get in and out. Keep giving the model brick by brick. Sure enough, it's paying off. Look forward to more. Let's go. But then we got members in here printing 700 SPY puts, 1,200 on QQQ puts, long on Apple, $624. You know, people are just in here making money day in, day out. Look at this go. Yesterday, $3,000 on a call play on the SPY, 440 on the Qs. You know, members print money every day, small, big, it doesn't matter. We have our motto and we live by it brick by brick by brick. But that's enough of that. You're not here for me to show off. You're saying, Karl, what are we going to do in this market? What are we going to do in this market? All right, let's give you that insight. Let's give you that insight. Let's be honest. I haven't really looked at this market, but let me show you something what took place in Tesla during the regular hours yesterday, okay, which is a little tricky to show. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to say it every single day. Every candle in here represents the price action of the time period we're talking about. At this point in time, we're talking about a 10-minute chart. So this first green candle that you see right here, this candle here represents the first 10 minutes of the day. Well, what happened at the first 10 minutes of the day? The President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, tweeted, "It is a good time to buy stocks." Hashtag, he didn't put hashtag, but he put DJT. What happened? Market bounced up. And what was interesting, it started to form what I call a bull flag. It just sideways chopped between this green line, which was at the time red. So let me just make it red just for demonstration purposes. So resistance level, couldn't get above it. But then there was this support level right down there where it just kept bouncing in between there, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and then it tanked down, right? But then guess what? It rallied right back up and just sideways chopped right in this zone. But then, as I told members wanted to short. They wanted to short the market, short the SPY, short the Qs. I said, man, you have never traded with Donald Trump before. I have. This guy is getting ready to put a halt to these tariffs. I'm telling you. And what did he do? Boom, halted it, and it just took off, and members profited on this run. But like I tell them, you don't chase the run. You wait for dips. You wait for opportunities. You wait for setups to get in, to go long. You get in, you go up. And I told members, I said, it should run up to about 270 to 272. And what did it do? Come right up to this resistance line. It finished a little bit above it, but now we're below it. So is there another opportunity for us today to profit? Where should we get in? I've taken liberty to draw this yellow line right here. I like 253 today. And if it pierces 250, that's the next level to add. So I would buy at 253, stroke 251, somewhere in there. So a $2 spread between that. If it got there, it has to get there, which is the key. And if it gets there, that's where I would look to buy my first entry, and I would probably add every $6 if it gave us that opportunity, okay? That's kind of how I would play it. We've already played it pre-market. You saw that previously where I talked about how we got in. So let me show you what we did pre-market. If I go to the extended hours, which is the pre-market hour, so we bought at 259. So it's dipped down, 10-minute candle again. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes down, 40 candles down, 40 minutes down. We bought at 259. It just held this thing all the way. And then guess what? It just ran up right at 8:30. And we sold right here into this pop. Perfect target. I gave him the target 266 to 268. It got up to 267 and some change. We sold, and now here we are. Now we're going to just wait. We want to wait to see if we get this more dip right into this 253 level. If we get that today, that's a level to buy Tesla for the long, okay? But that's Tesla. That's Tesla. Let's talk about the SPY. Let's talk about the SPY. Let's talk about the QQQ. One of the things I've been saying, I don't want to say religious, the SPY, this thing, so I wanted to be, it needed to 483, okay? We had a couple days ago, 480.30. You can just go back. I think I said it on Tuesday or whatever day this was. We'll do this. 482.30 is the level. Go back, rewatch the live video. It's there on that day. I say that's the level to buy. It touches that level to the penny. Okay, well, okay, 50 cents. It goes a little bit lower, but you're never out the money, and then it gets this massive bounce. And then the next day, which was yesterday, we're seeing the same price action, but we get this massive explosion because there was no way on earth that Trump could continue to have these massive tariffs. They were massive. They were just outrageous, made up numbers that made no sense, okay? And that's where it took off. And we had members talking about, oh, let's short the market. Let's short the market. I remember having to correct people and going over it several times that we were creating in spirit of bull flag, okay, in this range. We just chopped in this range. And I said, you have to be mindful. Trump is going to get rid of these tariffs to a large degree. And when he does that, you're going to see a rip your face off rally. And that's what took place, a rip your face off rally. But is it over? We've just rallied up. What to do? Because the SPY, like I've tried to say it every day, even yesterday, even though we had some technical difficulties, the stock market is the only store when prices are dropping, people are panicking. They don't see it as on sale. I got friends writing, talking about the market is crashing. I'm like, this is not a crash, guys. It just simply is not a crash. It's not a technical crash, and it's a dip, and it's a significant dip, but it's not a crash. So let's make this graph very busy. Click. Okay? So like I said, you have this yellow line right here. That's where I always said it was going to go on that day. It hit it to the penny. These yellow lines have always been there all week, okay? We've had this massive rally up. Where's resistance? This down sloping trend line. So we should see 460 to 465 as a max move today. However, anything, I have this general rule of thumb. I call it, anytime a stock, an ETF of any significance, like it has a large market cap or something, finishes at high of day, within $1 or $2 of high a day, especially on what is called a massive engulfing candle. This is a massive engulfing candle. You don't see the S&P 500 move up 10, 12% in one day. That just doesn't happen that often. This is like a massive rally. You must expect a pullback. But is there an opportunity for us to buy? There always is an opportunity for us to buy. If we can get to 526, 527, I like that level just in general. Let me just double check that level a little bit. I'm going to look a little bit intraday. I think I'll use the hourly chart. Yeah, 525, 527, thereabouts is where I like it today for a level of support if it was to get down there. Okay, but let's be mindful. We're still not out of the woodworks yet, though. Okay, we are not out of the woodworks. We still have to be cautious. Now, let's look at the QQQ. Same situation, same type of thing. Now, it itself, the QQQ, is the top 100 tech companies. Apple, Amazon, Oracle, Microsoft, Netflix, you name it, they in here. Those kind of companies that come to mind that are tech-driven companies, they're in here. This thing dropped down, got down to this level of 400 closely, bounced, came up, dropped the next day, and then guess what? We got the tariff relief. Boom, and it exploded. Came right up to this resistance line, which is currently green. Let's make it red because that's the resistance level. Let's make this one red because that's technically the resistance level. But like I said, the same thing, you should expect a pullback. I have a level at 450 today. I've already highlighted it. If we get into this zone here of 450, this is where I would look for support. So maybe about 448, 449, something in there. You know, you want to give it a pierce of the level. You want to give it some room, $2 or something like that. That's where I want to go. But ultimately, if it was to fail, then we look for about 440. Okay, so that's where we got. But are there other opportunities to watch? I really don't know at the moment. I haven't really looked at the market, but we're going to do it live. Just like an old famous guy in the US said, F it, we'll do it live. So let's just do it live. Let's just break down the market. I'm going to look at some fan favorites in coin. I generally like coin at 150. I didn't say I like it twice on Sunday, but this was the level of support either way. I probably wouldn't trade that. Let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA, we're in. Expect first 10. So now we get to see Apple. Took place. Why did we market economic? So yes, you have deficits. You might have equalize in your stuff that you make, right? Balance your currency. So it's currency of thing, right? And so the currency should be better doing this exporting. They export. I'm talking about straight instead of doing these bonds to currency do things like down, which I don't think is necessarily an international stance, but like all the U.S. bonds, what is bond? The UK, they call them gilts. US, it's just who's the buyer? China. And how do they buy? But what happened in because 10-year bond, the TLT, it sets all the interest rate, bank bond rate, all that kind of stuff is by this. Well, get it with China. We're sell our Trump. He knew that he had to do something to get people to buy the U.S. government debt.